What is up, guys? So today we are in the metaverse. So we're going to be making art, but I want to show you how to make a really fun, um, cute little character, like a little octopus, and or something like that. So I want to show you how to do it. This is going to be kind of a video that's just for maybe like beginners ish in multi-brush. So anyway, so I want to show you. So this is what I always do. I almost never draw in this environment because it's so dark. So let me show you what I do. So the first thing I do is I come here to my environment and I go all the way, oops, over here to this one. So much better. Okay, now I want to show you guys how I do my really clean art where it's like, because there's some drawings you probably see in with tilt brush, multi brush, they're all practically the same thing. But where a lot of the drawings are kind of like it has like these gaps and stuff through there, which those are useful for certain things, but for the type of artwork that we're gonna do today, we're gonna make sure that it's all nice and clean and it looks good. So first thing we're gonna do is turn on your mirror tool because that's going to make things a lot easier um, in when you're drawing. So we're going to start off with this one. So I'm going to use this and we're just going to start off with black. And another thing we're going to do is this right here, the backdrop, we're going to turn the fog off because sometimes it gets in the way. So let me give you an example. So see if it's all the way up and if I draw, you see how it looks gray? It's not actually gray, it's black. But because the fog, you can change the color, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's actually really useful for when you're doing color and stuff. So anyway, so let's get rid of, let me just do this. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. And we're just going to create this little character. So, oops, you know what? I think I accidentally, oh no, good. Okay, so here we go. So I'm drawing from my head, so bear with me. But we're going to just do something like this. I think that will work, right? Someone, let's see. Trying to see this in my head. Let's go maybe a little bit wider. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna come like this, and like this, and like this. This is practically just the sketch. So, and just for the ease of um, making everything kind of easier, well, we're just gonna kind of make this. We're gonna kind of just have kind of like a little like bottom area to the character. And we want him to have this really big eyes, right? So we'll just do that. And what I'm going to do though is because I want his eyes like up in the corner, like he's looking off that way. But the problem is, like, if I do that right now, because the mirror tool's on, it makes both his eyes go that way. So I'm going to turn the mirror tool off. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to put one eye there and then one right there. So we're just kind of freehanding it. Gosh. Okay, there we go. Much better. And then we'll give him, I'll just give him a little smirk right now, for now. Now, kind of halfway done, honestly. So what I'm going to do now, though, is we're going to switch tools, and we're going to get this one. So you want the unlit one. That one's, that I use this one probably for almost all of my artwork in multi-brush. And I'm trying to get, there's a color that I see, and that's pretty close to it. Maybe, there we go. Very, very light purple. So now I'm going to turn the mirror tool back on. And we're going to start down here. That's why this tool is really good. This is literally the tool how I get all of my drawings with the nice clean look because um you have so much more control over it. So you see like when I oops, let me move. So let's do over here. So see I can make a line, but then I can pull this and then I can also make to where it has volume. So that's why you want to use that tool. If you're trying to fill in like an area for a character or whatever you're doing. Also too, the one that's unlit, it takes up less memory for the drawing. So you can actually have more things in your drawing um, than if you were to use like this one or some of the other ones that have like you, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it has like it's more textured, I guess you could say. And what I mean by that when I'm saying like the memory, so if you come over here and click settings, so you see that little blue line that represents everything we have here. When you start having a whole lot of stuff in the scene, this right here starts to fill up. And when it gets into the red, or even yellowish sometimes, but especially red, things will slow down a lot. So you start like frames will start dropping and it's not good. It just doesn't you definitely don't want that. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna keep going. And these areas, you see how there's that space right there? So I'm just gonna kind of try to close some of that up. And I'm not worried too much if I lose, like, you see how that little part right there got cut off? That's not a big deal because some of the stuff we're gonna get rid of. So you can kind of imagine the sketch of like how would you say? Kind of like if you were making like a gingerbread cookie and you have like the little cutout shape that you like put the cookie dough into and then it actually and then you use that to kind of form the actual cookie. um that's what we're doing with this. So not all of these lines and everything will remain. Some of them will, but not all of them. And then we're going to change the color. I'm going to change this more to a nice subtle blue. And then you want to get underneath it because you got to remember you're drawing in virtual reality. So if you put your give your headset to someone and you say, hey, look at this drawing, and they're going to look like all over. And so you don't want this big empty space there. So you have to think about that. You got to fill those areas in too, which is quite important. Okay. So now we're going to do his eyes. We're not going to go with pure white. We're going to just like a off-white kind of. Now, because these parts, not this right here, but the outer part of the eye, um, we use the mirror tool for that. So that no matter how you do it on here, it's going to be identical on this side. So for that, you can leave the mirror tool on. Sometimes though, you need when you're drawing with this tool, the hall brush, you have to let go. Because see, if I hold right now and then try to do everything, like it's gonna mess up. So for some parts, you're gonna have to like do a little bit, like I'm doing right here, and then let go, and a little bit right here, and then let go, and then come over here, and then kind of finish and clean up the rest of it, and let go. And again, don't worry if some parts get covered because we're gonna come through and we'll clean all of that up. Now, here's where you want to turn the mirror tool off because this area, um, you want to close this up. But again, like I said, because this part of the eye and this part, I did those like by hand, um, they're not going to come out quite the same. So, but what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go back and get black and I'm going to fill in. I'm going to close up, try to fix up this little spot right here. So we'll kind of close that up, close this up here. And we're just going to go ahead and close in the eye. Oops, I could have did better on that. And right there. And then we'll do this one. You have a lot of control with this particular brush. So yeah, it's pretty easy to control. Now what I'm going to do is these lines right here, I do not want, oops, I don't want them. So I'm going to select, and you do that with the select tool right here. So I'll select that one, and I'm going to zoom in and select, oops. Sometimes that can be tricky trying to, okay. And now I'm going to take these, throw them away because I don't need them. Same thing with the ones here. Get this one and that one. You take them, throw them away. This one, throw it away. Throw that one away. And the ones in the back. Oops. Sometimes you gotta zoom in really close to make sure you're grabbing just the piece that you actually need. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got our little dude. I need to fix this part. And so what I did right there is I just brought out, and I believe it's A or B, but it's the highest button up here. Sometimes I forget when I'm in VR, but your thumb is like right here. So you can press and hold that and you get this little wheel of these tools. And then you can get, this is the color picker, and you can pretty much select any color that you want, and it selects that brush that you use too. So like here, I can close that off, right? And then I can do it right here too. And don't worry, like it takes time to get familiar with all of the different tools and stuff in here, but you'll get it. It's just time and practice, that's all. But once you get the feel of it, oh, also too, we should save. But once you get the feel of it, it really starts to feel good because, like one of the hardest things was me actually just trying to figure out how was I gonna do some of the stuff that I do, and like with like stuff that I do like on my iPad, I was like, how am I gonna do that in VR? That was the tough part, but you'll get it. I think I'm gonna go with a higher pink. There we go. Cool. I think it looks cute. Cute little character. Okay, also to fix this part right here. With the eye. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to use I think this could look cool, the comet tool. So we might use this for his legs. I'm going to turn this off. Guess it should come down, and maybe I need to go a little bit darker too because I don't know. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Not darker. I want to go lighter. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So I'll do a couple just to make it darker. Yeah, I think that will look good. So what am I doing with these? So if you look, these are going to be little tentacles. So we'll just do that. Now you can either select this and you can group it together by doing that. And then you can like click and then you can make some more. So you can duplicate. And you do that by once it's selected, you hover this like right over. So you see this? This is the other button. So that was that one up there. This one's down here. And you just literally click and it will create another one. So then we can come back here, put one on him like that. Just like so. I think that looks cool. Now, what I want to do though is I actually think I should change this color underneath him to, no, not that. Let's go with something a little more soft. Still too much. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. We'll zoom in and get this part. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to change the background color a little bit. So we're going to click on backdrop. Now here's where the fun parts happen. So we want, because if the little character is in water, so you want the top part to be the lightest part because that's where the sun would be, and then a gradient as the light is not as the light can't reach the depth. So then you want to do a balance with some darker colors, right? Now to make that stand out a little bit more, we can do it like this. But also too, I think that's too, it's kind of nice, but something a little bit like that. So you see how it's kind of like more purple bluish down here and then lighter blue up here. And then here's where the cool part comes in. So like with the fog. So let's see. So we have that at white. So I'm going to turn this up so you see how the drawing's changing. But we're going to move this over here. And then we can move this and then we can play around with a different colors. So this is what I meant with it, kind of like helping you color it a little bit more. So we'll kind of somewhere right in there looks kind of nice. So yeah, so we can do that. And you can get rid of that for right now. Now, something else that I want to do, we're going to bring this back out here because this is a random cute little character that we're creating. We're going to go back to our marker. We're going to go back to black. And I'm going to make some strange little, let's see, a weird little ear or something. So I'm going to pull this out just a little bit. So I'll go like this. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to go back to this one. We're going to select this again. And we should actually do this from this side. This would probably be better. I'm going to come all the way up. All the way up. A lot of times, something this type big of an object, you can usually do it with one take. So just like that. And then this part here, we can kind of close. Oops. We can close that off. Always look for the little spots where you can still see like little cracks of stuff showing through, and then just try to close it up. Okay, and then we'll get right up here. We'll close this part. Oops. You see how it came through? We did it too much. And then we're gonna go with nice little pink. That's also a nice little thing you can do too, is hold this next to like what you're doing and just see what colors kind of look good next to it. Kind of like that. So and don't worry, you'll start to understand like the feel for it, because sometimes it's hard trying to understand like, okay, well, how far do I push in or pull, because you have to remember you're drawing in 3D space. And also too, you have like no actual surface to push against, so that can throw you off a little bit sometimes too, but you'll get the feel of it. Just be patient with yourself. Don't be like me when I first started drawing in VR. Man, I was like, it was really, 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 really hard on myself. We're going to select all of this. Okay, move that out the way and turn this off. I'm going to select the ear. Now, if you use the grip button, which is right here, you can grab that, you can move it, and you can take the other one and you can hold it there and you can scale it. So you can grab it big or small or whatever, so you can scale. And we're going to put that little ear right there. Let's see if that looks like maybe small, because since it is underwater, then even though it's like ears, but it still resembles kind of like fins. I think it's probably more fitting than just these big giant ears. Yeah, I think it looks good. Oh, I see a spot we can close up. Zip, 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 zip. Close all of that. Okay, now we're gonna select all of this, every last piece of it, and we're gonna group it together. So now the whole thing moves. So now we can position it. So we're gonna move it like about like this, right? And then I still want the surface to actually feel more like that's the surface. The surface is up there. So I'm gonna do a little trick. So we're gonna go with smoke. Okay. And we'll probably go with something like this. So what I'm gonna do is practically just make a circle, and we're gonna close in on it. I'm gonna do it just like this right here. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And then we're gonna group that together. Okay. And then we're gonna take this and stretch it. I'm gonna make it as big as I can. I'm reaching my arms all the way up, and boom, I let go. So that's nice, but I think it might need to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna bring it back down. And I think it's too, oops, I think it was too bright. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, let's try it again. So I'm gonna stretch it all the way out, hold it up as high as I can, and let go. Okay, no, that's not too bad. Get rid of that piece. So we're gonna leave that, and then I'm gonna try, let's see, what's a good, no, I have an idea in my head of something, but I'm trying to see if it would actually work properly before I, no. Not fire, no. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to leave this idea alone for now. I don't want to make things confusing. Let me just try something real quick. Let's just do that, and then let's just see. I mean, maybe, but I don't want to get too complicated right now. So we'll just leave that alone for right now. But what I do want to do is we're gonna add bubbles, because that's gonna make everything better. So, but are these the regular bubbles? No, here they are. These are the ones I want. These are the ones that are, so in multi-brush, there's a set of brushes that came from Tilt Brush, which is the original drawing program by Google before they open sourced it, and there's regular brushes, and then you get to these that have these little blue markings on them. Those are added brushes that a developer added, but I want the original bubbles because I think the spread of them is better, at least for what I'm trying to do right now. So we can do this. We can add these bubbles, right? And then we can actually select them all. So we'll select all of these bubbles, every last one of them, which I think we got them all. And then I'm going to group those and then duplicate them. And we can spread these ones way out here. So now, which is cool because now it gives us more of the feeling of like underwater. And then even for a little bit more, we can get stars and not stars. What am I talking about? Where's the other one? Snow. It's the snow. If you make this really tiny, this brush actually works really well for this kind of stuff. So you'll see. So you got to zoom in though. And it just kind of makes it look like there's like like in water, there's just like little things floating around, and it works really good for that. It makes the scene more believable. So yeah. Now, the one last thing I'm going to do, and this is, you don't have to do this, but well, you should save. Definitely save. But because this little type of stuff bothers me, I want there to be a little bit of light source. So our light is obviously up in the sky, even though we're underwater, but I want to add a different variation of lighting, a color on the top of our character's head, because that is where the light would be hitting. So I'm going to do that just a little bit right here. And then we're going to do kind of the back side of the head too. So now for this, you're going to want to push your hand further down. You don't want it, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So I'm keeping my hand kind of like pushed into the drawing because you have more control when you do it this way versus if you were, which I'll show you the way not to do it. And this is the part is going to take practice because you have to keep your hand pretty still so that the color stays pretty close to the same height as the actual drawing. Now I should have probably like let go and started some more, but it's just how to have it. I'll be doing this. Okay. Anytime you have like a little bit of extra lighting and coloring stuff just to make things stand out a little bit more, it's always going to make the drawing look a little bit better. That's just my opinion. But lighting does so much for drawings and all that good stuff. So I will close this up. Also, too, if anyone wants to like come into multi-brush and like practice like just drawing with me, I'm completely open to that as well, because multi-brush, you can draw with multiple people. You guys just gotta let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be down for, and I do not mind at all. I'd be more than happy to do something like that. I actually did it before with one of my subscribers. Me and him were meeting in here quite a bit to do like some drawings and stuff. It was fun. It was a fun hangout time. Vermilion also allows that too. So if you got any Vermilion artists out there, we can come in here and hang out, make some artwork together. So anyway, so I think you guys can kind of see what I mean. It makes a little bit of a difference. Not a whole lot, but it's kind of cool. I kind of want to do the rest of the back side of him too and just make it all that color. So it's like this color. It's like there's more sunlight hitting on him, right? Which is cool. So yeah, I think that looks so much better. Okay, Um, and you can group all that together if you want, but I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna get smoke, and I don't want it to be too strong, so I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. That's too dark. I think that works. I'm gonna get this. So this allows you to make a straight line, and it will follow whichever way you go with your arm. So we're gonna do it over here. So I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna select all of those, group them together. Then I'm gonna move over here. So this is gonna be kind of like the sun rays that are coming through the water. So you can kind of see that. You see that? Isn't that cool? And then we have another trick. I'm gonna turn this off. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go up here. We're gonna go with something bright. And we're gonna do this. This is gonna represent the sun. Oops. Oh my gosh, no, I just want that. Okay. Group that together. We're gonna come all the way up here. Right? And we're gonna make sure this is aligned. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are, and then 5 in the middle. But I'm gonna take this and practically stretch this out. That's probably big enough. And we're gonna move all the way down. Now look at that. Isn't that great? That looks awesome. And now one more thing that we can do to make this even a little bit, to make it stand out more, we're gonna use the smoke again. And I'm gonna come over here. Maybe make this a little bit darker. Okay. Turn that off. I'm just gonna come over here and just put a little bit of that color around him. And this is actually gonna kind of help blend the scene together a little bit more. But just changing just a little bit of color. Oh yeah, for those of you wondering too, I'm drawing on the Quest 3. Now something else I'm gonna do too, real quick. Do this. So it's like a cloud that we created, right? And we're gonna take this and just kind of stretch this. There we go. So now we have this really like soft bluish purple look going on. So I think it looks good. So see what I mean? It actually looks like there's more like light now hitting on him. Or her, whatever it is. I don't know. It's a character. And just for a little extra cuteness, we'll just do this. We'll make some little movement like the little ears are wiggling or something. Just like so. Right? And then I'm just kind of going crazy with it. Very, very simple, but you can do there we go. Actually, let's go with this one. Watch this. This is a cool little trick, and it's really going to like cost nothing because anyone can do this. It's so simple. I don't like that. Okay. And good enough. Okay, so I'm going to select these, group those together. You probably already know what I'm doing. I'm just using this little brush just to make some little schools of fish. Okay. And I'm going to select them, group them all together, and we'll put them right here. just like so. Good enough, right? Very simple, cute little drawing, and didn't take us that long to do it. So hopefully these little tips will kind of give you some things to work with while you're having your adventure drawing in virtual reality, which is so much fun. It really is because everything just feels like it's alive and, like it's right here in front of me, I still think it's some of the coolest stuff ever. So I don't know. Anyway, so I hope this sheds a little bit of light on people wanting to um, know more about, can you do artwork in VR or whatever, which you totally can. And, I feel like the art side of the creation side of VR, sometimes it gets overlooked because there's so much focus on the games and all that stuff. But it's like there's gems like being able to do stuff like this. I mean, you can create whatever you want, create your own little world. And Tilt Brush also works with pass through too. So you can see your actual environment while you're creating, which I tend to do that a lot when I'm making characters and stuff. So yeah. So anyway, that's it. Hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to keep seeing me do more stuff like this, because I'm going to be doing art until I'm an old man. Anyway, hope you guys like this. Hope it was helpful. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. You know what? I just thought of something. Um, I'm going to leave it. Okay, never mind. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.